Yeah, my name is Darya, and I'm a PhD student at University of Manchester, and I've done my research with my supervisors Gianpaolo Vignali and Daniella Ryding. And my research is on Generation Z consumers' purchase intention of environmentally sustainable luxury fashion products. So to give you a bit of a background, consumers are becoming increasingly aware of sustainability issues in the fashion industry and are actually demanding brands to incorporate sustainability into their business models. And as you can see from the diagram on the left, the share of consumers who are saying that they're willing to pay more for sustainable products is increasing a lot. We've got 49% of consumers saying that I'm willing to spend a little more money if the item is sustainable or eco-friendly. And on the diagram on the right, you can see that the share of the global apparel market for sustainable clothing was 3.9% in 2021 and is expected to increase to 6.1% by in 2026. And a point I would like to mention here is that just because people say that they're willing to pay more for sustainable products doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually going to do that, because we've got something called the attitude behavior gap, which is essentially when people say one thing and then they act a different way. And that's very prevalent in the sustainable fashion industry, unfortunately. But nevertheless, that's what consumers are saying, and that they're showing more interest in this sector. And when we look at luxury brands, you could argue that they have an advantage over high street brands. And a lot of consumers actually think that luxury products are more sustainable than high street and fast fashion brands. And that's because they're obviously much more expensive. They're produced at consumers believe that luxury fashion counts as slow fashion because the production cycles are much smaller and slower than fast fashion. Sorry. But when we look at luxury and sustainability, there are actually a few challenges that luxury fashion sector has that may not be present in fast fashion and high street fashion. So I'm first going to talk about the similarities between luxury and sustainability. So luxury products are believed to be of high quality. They're believed to be more durable and have a longer lifespan. And obviously this makes them more sustainable, because if the lifespan of the product is longer, if it's more durable, then the need for replacing it is much less. And obviously it uses less resources as a result. And we've got a quote here that says, "Luxury is the enemy of throwaway society," which is obviously very prevalent again in fast fashion, when people buy something and then just throw it away after a couple of wears. Another thing that makes luxury compatible with sustainability is that the high prices tend to limit the demand. So again, that means that less products in theory are produced, and so there will be a less negative environmental impact. Another thing that's common in luxury is after sales services, like repair services and things like that. And obviously these services increase the product's lifespan. And again, as I said previously, there'll be less need to replace the products, and obviously it uses less resources. Another key part of luxury is the fact that it's timeless, at least in theory anyways. And obviously timelessness goes hand in hand with sustainability, because again, you'll be using products for longer, you wouldn't be replacing them. You don't need to replace them as often. So now aspects of luxury and sustainability that are actually not compatible and are quite contradictory is that luxury products are traditionally made from rare and really exclusive materials, like, for example, leather made from snake skin or crocodile skin. And that is in a way, completely the opposite of what sustainability is, because in sustainable fashion, we have products such as recycled leather made from recycled plastic bottles. And when you compare plastic bottles to crocodile skin, traditionally crocodile skin or like leather is known to be more exclusive, more valuable, and more luxurious than recycled plastic bottles. So obviously that poses a challenge for the luxury fashion sector. Another aspect of luxury and sustainability that are contradictory is that luxury is associated with conspicuousness when purchases are made excessively to display wealth, whereas sustainability is all about ethics, altruism, where purchases are made in moderation. And the next point, which is about change, ties in really well with the previous point, because change in fashion is a form of luxury. And for people, it's not only important to be seen in the right clothes, but it's also important to follow the latest trend. And obviously this makes them want to purchase more and more. And then another thing is that luxury purchases are irrational by nature. Consumers pay a large amount of money for something to buy something that makes them look out of the ordinary and unique. And again, this is the opposite of sustainability, where purchases are believed to be based on real needs and great consideration. We've got another quote here that says, luxury means excess, and luxury purchases are made in excess, which is the opposite of sustainability and sustainable development, which is associated with self-restraints to ensure the future of next generations. So I made this slide not to say that luxury and sustainability are not compatible, because as I said in the previous slide, there are some points about luxury and sustainability that makes them really compatible. And it's all about how can companies, luxury companies become more sustainable despite of these challenges, and how can they address these challenges to become more sustainable. And we're seeing great examples of this at the moment. Like a lot of luxury fashion brands are moving towards using more sustainable materials or not using fur. For example, like Hermes are now developing a bag made from mushroom leather, which obviously shows that they're exploring new materials to be more sustainable in the future. So in my research, I am focusing on Generation Z. And as I said, for companies to overcome these challenges that I mentioned in the previous slide, it's important that they understand their customers really well. And it's important to understand their customers' purchase intention and what are the factors that affect their purchase intention of sustainable luxury fashion products. So that is my research aim, to evaluate generations of consumers' purchase intention of sustainable luxury fashion products. And I'm specifically focusing on consumers in the United Kingdom. And another point I would like to make here is that sustainability is quite a broad term and is understood differently by different people. And it includes both the environmental and the social aspects. So for social sustainability, you could argue that it has more to do with ethics and then, how the workers are treated. And then environmental sustainability, as the name suggests, is more about the impact of the industry on the environment. And very rarely in academic papers, this distinction has been made. So in my paper, I'm only focusing on environmental sustainability. And that's because it's been identified as one of the main areas that luxury fashion brands can focus on in the recovery after the COVID-19 pandemic. And the primary audience for my research is Generation Z consumers. And that's because they've been identified as a sustainability generation. And when you look at a lot of the research done on this generation, they're the generation that say, they really care about sustainability. They only want to support brands that are more sustainable. And again, I'm not saying that that's necessarily the case, because their actions might be different to what they actually say. but they're a group of consumers that have shown great interest in sustainability. And they're also one of the key market definer cohorts in terms of luxury, and they're predicted to dominate the luxury fashion sector as they, go into the workforce even more in the future. For my methodology, I will be distributing a questionnaire to 400 Generation Z participants across all regions in the United Kingdom. And in my questionnaire, I'm basically going to find out, in my literature, I have found the factors that affect Generation Z purchase intention. And I've developed some hypotheses based on the literature on sustainable fashion and luxury fashion, and I've combined them to develop hypotheses, which I'll be testing with my questionnaire. And in my questionnaire, I have some filtering questions to make sure that the people that will be filling out the questionnaire are the right people. So I'm asking them, like, what's their age, do they purchase luxury, how frequently they purchase luxury, to just make sure that they are actually the consumers that I'm interested in. And yeah, that's everything. Thank you for listening.